Did you know that men actually fall in love almost twice as fast as women? We're talking weeks versus months. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to how differently our brains handle love. We like to think love is all about butterflies and destiny, but science reveals that your gender completely rewires how you experience romance. From who says I love you first to why breakups hit differently. The psychology behind love is way more complex than Hollywood wants you to believe. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most mind-blowing facts about how men and women love differently. And trust me, number 1 will completely change how you read your partner's mind. So smash that like button, subscribe for more psychology secrets, and let's dive in. Number 10, men fall in love faster, and science knows why. Who's the real hopeless romantic, her or him? Science says it's the guys diving in head first. A massive study across 33 countries and 800 young adults found that men fall in love twice as fast, on average 4 weeks in. Women? More like 8. But don't mistake this for raw emotion. It might be evolution in action. Back in caveman days, women were the gatekeepers of reproduction. Men had to prove themselves fast or get left in the prehistoric dust. That urgency, still baked into our brains. So today, he's not just texting back too soon. He's subconsciously trying to survive natural selection. And it gets juicier. Men fall in love more often too. They average 2.6 in-love experiences across their lives, while women average just 2.3. Turns out, he's catching feelings while she's running quality control. So next time someone says men are emotionally detached, just smile and say, bro's not afraid of commitment. He's speedrunning heartbreak like it's a sport. Number 9, women's brains are emotional memory machines. Ever wonder how she remembers exactly what you said on your third date 2 years ago? Science has the answer. Women's brains are wired for emotional memory in 4K. Brain imaging studies show that when processing emotional events, women activate up to 9 brain regions. Men, just 2. It's like comparing a surround sound system to a broken walkie-talkie. This isn't just about remembering anniversaries. When women experience emotional moments, good or bad, their brains encode every detail. The lighting in the room, the song playing, even the exact feeling in their chest. Scientists call it emotional encoding, and it's why she remembers the way you made her feel, not just what happened. In one study, participants were shown emotional images. 3 weeks later, women remembered far more of the emotionally charged ones than men, with vivid clarity. So no, she's not too sensitive. She's just running an elite,
high-definition emotional archival system, and you're trying to keep up with a flip phone. She's not dwelling on the past. You're just running an emotional dial-up while she's got fiber optic feelings.
Number 8, breakups hit men and women like different natural disasters. She's crying today, he's crying 6 months from now. Breakups don't hit men and women the same. They're emotional earthquakes with 2 totally different aftershocks. A global study of 5,700 plus people across 96 countries found that women take the initial hit harder, rating their emotional pain at 6.84 out of 10 and even physical pain at 4.21. Men, slightly lower at first. 6.58 emotional, 3.75 physical. But here's the twist. Women move on, men don't. While she's rebuilding stronger, he's stuck in denial until the slow burn grief finally smacks him out of nowhere. Months later, when the texts stop, the routines vanish, and he realizes he has to start competing for love again, that's when it really hurts. She gets the hurricane. Fast, brutal, over. He gets the flood, quiet, creeping, and relentless. That's why your ex might look thriving in 3 months, while your buddy's still rewatching her Instagram story in year 5. Men don't avoid heartbreak. They just delay the emotional apocalypse. Number 7, who says I love you first? The stats will shock you. Plot twist. He said it first. Forget the rom-com cliche. Turns out men are way more likely to drop the L-bomb first in relationships. Science doesn't lie. A cross-cultural study spanning 7 countries found that in 6 out of 7 men were the ones blurting out "I love you" before women even thought about it. Let's break it down. On average, guys start thinking about saying "I love you" by day 69. Women? Not until day 77. And when it comes to actually saying it out loud, men confess around day 107, while women hold off until day 122. That's a full 2-week emotional head start. The only exception? France. Because of course, French men are on a whole different wavelength of romance. So what does this mean? Maybe men are more emotionally impulsive, or maybe they're just playing the game harder, locking down loyalty before the other shoe drops. They say women catch feelings fast, but statistically, men are the real love bombers. Number 6, oxytocin, the love hormone that divides the sexes. One hormone, 2 brains, total opposites. Oxytocin is nicknamed the love hormone. But what if we told you it's not always about love? When scientists gave oxytocin to both men and women, they didn't get the same warm and fuzzy results. Women became more trusting, nurturing, and attuned to kindness. But men, they turned into walking threat detectors, spotting rivals, conflicts, and hidden motives with laser focus. Same chemical, polar opposite effects. Why? Evolution may be to blame. Women evolved to build safe, cooperative spaces.
Men evolved to defend, compete, and protect. So oxytocin doesn't just create love. It flips a survival switch, custom built by biology. That sweet romantic gesture that melts her heart, it might make him scan for red flags. Oxytocin isn't the love drug. It's nature's social chess master, and it's playing men and women completely differently.
Number 5. Your jealousy triggers are hardwired by your gender. Jealousy isn't random. It's ancient code in your brain. Men and women don't just get jealous differently. They freak out over completely opposite threats, and it's hardwired by evolution. Men? Their brains explode over sexual betrayal. Why? Because for thousands of years, sleeping around meant risking raising someone else's kid. Brain scans show their amygdala and hypothalamus, the aggression and threat centers, light up like a red alert. Women? They spiral over emotional cheating. Their brains activate fear zones tied to losing support and security. Translation? Is he investing in her now instead of me? That's why guys are more likely to forgive a kiss with no feelings, while women might forgive sex as long as there were no late-night "I miss you" texts. Here's the twist. Even in modern relationships with birth control and equality, our brains are still running Stone Age software. Your jealousy isn't irrational, it's prehistoric programming. You're not crazy. You're just using an emotional operating system from 10,000 BC. Number 4. The real reasons men and women cheat will surprise you. Spoiler alert. Women cheat for feelings. Men cheat for reasons that will make you side-eye your boyfriend. Research on infidelity reveals a brutal gender split. Women cheat because they're emotionally done. A staggering 64% say they stepped out because they were unhappy in the relationship. One woman said it best. "I didn't know how to break up. I just felt alone." It's less thrill-seeking, more escape hatch. Men, only 30% cheat due to relationship issues. For them, it's often about ego, opportunity, boredom, or trauma. Some were never taught healthy emotional intimacy. Others cheat because sex and love don't live in the same zip code in their heads. Here's the wild part. Women treat relationships like emotional gardens. If it's dying, they eventually walk. Men will stay in the desert and find water somewhere else. Cheating doesn't always mean falling out of love. Sometimes it's just falling into an emotional gap that looks different depending on the brain and the gender behind it. Number 3. Long-distance love. How each gender survives the distance. Spoiler alert. Long-distance love? She grows, he counts the days. Long-distance relationships are emotional obstacle courses, but men and women don't just handle them differently. They're playing 2 completely different games. Women treat the distance like a growth sprint. Studies show they focus on independence, self-discovery, and emotional strength. One participant put it bluntly, "I love him, but I'm not pressing pause on my life while he's gone. For them, separation is a chance to evolve, not a crisis. Men, meanwhile, struggle with the physical absence. To feel connected, they need presence, not phone calls. They're less about inner growth and more about survival mode until the next reunion. Their mindset, we just need to make it to next month. Both sides agree communication is key, but define it wildly differently. Women want emotional check-ins. Men prefer schedules and updates. Feelings versus logistics. She builds herself. He builds a countdown. Same love, totally different survival strategies. Number 2, commitment phobia isn't just a guy thing anymore. Turns out, fear of commitment doesn't wear pants or a dress. It wears a mask. We've been sold a lie that only men run from commitment while women chase wedding bells. But psychology says otherwise. Women experience commitment phobia just as intensely. They just get sneakier with it. Instead of ghosting or dodging labels like guys do, women often date the emotionally unavailable, set sky-high standards no one can meet, or sabotage good relationships right before they get real. Sound familiar? That's not bad luck. It's pattern dating, and it's fear dressed up as being picky. Where men say, "I'm not ready," women say, "He's not the one," even when he might be. And behind it all, childhood trauma, broken parental models, and past betrayals pulling the strings. Men ghost, women stay, but never really unpack. Fear of forever doesn't care about gender. It just wears better camouflage. Number 1, your brain's love map is gender-coded. This changes everything you thought you knew about attraction. Hold on to your brain cells, because this discovery is about to blow your mind. Stanford University researchers used artificial intelligence to analyze brain scans from over 1,500 people and found that male and female brains have completely different love maps with zero overlap. We're talking about entirely different neural networks for processing romantic love. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. The patterns that predict cognitive functions in male brains have zero predictive power for female brains, and vice versa. It's like men and women are running completely different operating systems when it comes to love and attraction. The AI could identify someone's gender just by looking at their brain's resting activity patterns with incredible accuracy. This explains so much about why relationships feel like you're speaking different languages sometimes. When a man's brain processes romantic love, it's literally using different highways than a woman's brain. Different regions light up, different connections fire, and different chemical cocktails get released. The research suggests that what we call love might actually be two completely different neurological experiences that just happen to create compatible behaviors. Men's brains show patterns associated with visual processing and spatial reasoning during romantic thoughts, while women's brains show more activity in areas related to emotional memory and social cognition. This isn't about better or worse, it's about recognizing that when you're in love, you're literally experiencing a different neurological reality than your partner. Love isn't one size fits all, and science proves it beyond any doubt. Understanding gender psychology in relationships isn't about reinforcing stereotypes. It's about recognizing that our brains are wired differently, and that's actually beautiful. When we understand that, we can stop expecting our partners to love exactly like we do. Instead, we can appreciate the incredible complexity of human connection, and maybe, just maybe, cut each other some slack when we don't always speak the same emotional language. Which fact completely blew your mind? Did any of these hit a little too close to home? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your relationship stories. And if you're obsessed with psychology like I am, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more mind-bending content, and check out 10 facts that explain why we fall in love next.